While they're coming up and getting settled, some quick announcements. We have our break coming up after these folks do their thing, and that's going to be sponsored by Allied Fiber and Interrail. Please note that we are having the social tonight. That is the joint Aaron NANOG social. That is going to be sponsored by Aaron and our good friends at Comcast. We will then transition after this discussion is over, after we have the election results and the final wrap-up. We're going to transition to 2 tracks. That's the peering track and also the research track. And the research track is going to have some really good research content in it. Obviously, you guys all know what's in the peering track. But please know, when the researchers come here, they actually want to hear some operator opinions, so that's always nice to do. And I'm going to turn it over now. I think Betty's going to start off with election results and meeting wrap-up.
Thank you, Michael. So it's been a great Baltimore meeting, NANOG 62, great attendance, and I'm here to provide you some wrap-up information from our meeting and some special thank yous, and then we'll move into Mike Smith, who is our term-limited board member, who will provide you the actual election results. So before we go, I do want to say thank you again to all of our hosts, our connectivity and premium sponsors. It's absolutely important, and we're so thankful that we have such a dedicated sense of ownership of NANOG. Special thank you from me to our board of directors. They're all volunteers just like you, and so I really appreciate their time in helping me provide this opportunity to all of you. To all the committees, we have a small number of paid staff, and we have a huge number of volunteers that serve on our committees. The membership for coming out, being a part of NANOG, and being engaged in the election process. The attendees, all of you, it makes NANOG work. Sponsors are again, and I wanted to just call out some names instead of doing a simple label for the staff. Valerie Whitcup has been doing an excellent job in running our programs and assisting me in general oversight of NANOG. If you haven't thanked Valerie, please stop by, give her a huge thank you. She does an amazing job. Alyssa is taking care of all of our sponsors. Eric, who helps us keep the network working and provide leadership for our contracted staff. Flora, Annabelle, and Celia, I mean, what an amazing job. So, and with Verilan and the support staff from Network Utility Force. So can you join me in giving them a thank you? I can't do it alone, and I think the next slide, Mike, is yours. Nope, sorry, not yet. I didn't know what it was. Part of my general wrap-up is to give you some statistic about the 729 attendees that, whoa, that's scary, that's scary. 729 attendees that were, I won't do that again. We'll just move on, okay?
This is only supposed to happen during Randy Bush's presentations. I don't know why it's happening.
No. So we'll move on. It's just a breakdown of the attendees. All of this information will be posted on the website as well. What I do want to call out is our scholars or fellowship award winners in the room. If you wouldn't mind just standing up so we can acknowledge you. Are you here? Great, thank you. On behalf of the NANOG Board of Directors and some of our donations, I thank you for allowing me the opportunity to fund those students to get here to our meeting, our future operators. That's really important. The rest of the data speaks for itself. I thought we had 29 countries. We had 28 countries represented at this meeting, which is really amazing. Still a great number. Top organizations, kind of trending the same. If you look at our historical website in terms of statistics, we see the host bringing in, a fair amount, whomever they are, of attendees because they are the host. And you'll see ISPs and hardware vendors and content providers being right there at the top of the list of sending attendees to NANOG. organizational description, that's just the demographic information of where we're coming from. This is self-selecting, so it's subjective, but it does give us a sense of the kinds of community members that we have or attendees. And some save the dates. It's important for all of you, we have an events calendar. We generally just talk about the NANOG meetings, but we are adding into our series and calling out the fact that we will be doing education classes the day before NANOG for the next few meetings, and I want to point that out. In addition, not on the slide is that we have 5 NANOG on the Road meetings planned for next year, and we'll be publishing those dates soon and target cities and locations. So that is my last slide. Is there any questions from the audience on the meeting, the statistics, how it went? All right, I'll turn it over to Mike.
And also, I'll take this for Betty too. Thank you for the upcoming hosts. We have Cyrus One in San Antonio, Netflix in San Francisco, Torix in Montreal, and IAX in San Diego. Okay, so now for the elections. Thanks very much for everyone who stood to serve. It's, I think, a great indication of people's willingness to come up and help make these events a success. And so out of 644 eligible voting members, 177 cast their vote, which I think is a great turnout. Of course, we'd love to have 100%, but historically speaking, this is a great number and it's an upward trend, and I hope that continues. So the first was the bylaws change, which extends the term limits for board of directors members from 2 years to 3 years. That passed, and that means that out of the 3 candidates that we have that have been elected to the board, 2 will serve 3-year terms and 1 will serve a 2-year term. And the election committee that I was part of actually did a from the hat poll to determine who the single 2-year candidate would be. And with that said, they're actually right here. I didn't even realize that. So the 2-year board member is Greg Dendy, and the 3-year board members are Dan Golding and Will Charnock. And if we could give a hand to them. And again, I want to thank everybody else who ran, and I hope we have continued participation like that. And it's been a great time serving you guys, and I'm out.
So I did want to echo a special thank you to Mike Smith, as he is term limited and leaving us, and to Steve Feldman for his 2 years of service on the board. So my last slide, because I know we're anxious to get to break into the afternoon sessions, is to make sure to welcome you to our next NANOG meeting, NANOG 63 in San Antonio in February. It's a great location. We have a little bit more space and a warm location for February. So we will be issuing the call for presentation probably in 2 or 3 weeks, as well as the new the hotel link and the call for presentations and registration in about 2 or 3 weeks. In the meantime, should there be any questions about where we're going or questions that you have, NANOG support, you'll get to me and you'll get to the staff and get you back an answer right away. Thank you again, everyone.
Dave was going to say something more about the multicast thing, but then he decided not to. So if we are all set for a break now, again, the break is sponsored by Allied Fiber and Interrail. Yes, that's right. And then remember the social tonight, that's going to be out at the American Visionary Art Museum, which is sort of around the harbor a little bit. So that's going to be sponsored by Aaron and Comcast. We're now going to switch to the peering track. The peering track will be in this room. The research track is going to be in the Maryland Suites. So please select your track and go to the appropriate room. Thank you very much.